Hi y'all, Pisces. I'm back with y'all reading for the month of August. Your reading, you have focus on me. Focus. Me. Can you focus on me? Baby, can you focus on me? Hands on the soap. I don't know if that's what you telling you or you trying to tell somebody else, because at most times in the last batch of y'all readings, it has seemed like y'all been like a little emotional tyrant type, to where it's kind of like necessary to, it's my way or the highway, or like wearing your emotions on your sleeve. That's what it's been kind of giving me for the past couple months in y'all reading. So the reason why I say it's probably focus, because a lot of maternal issues are like revving up for a lot of women. You hear me say how we take care of ourselves, how we have the time to separate us from the pentacles, who we are, like from what society says we are, like the gossip, the people, the naysayers, like those type of things, like that. So that's what it kind of gives me though, like that energy. So that's why I was like, okay, we're gonna see how this goes. So that's why I said it's focus on me. It can go either way. You asking somebody to focus on you, if it's a lover or a relationship, or you needing to focus on you. Like that's what it's giving me. Because the past couple readings, y'all been having good shit, but it's kind of like the people around y'all and this, the um, the judgment in reverse type energy, to where it's like distracting you, or it's some of y'all being a distraction for somebody else, period. So we just got to say that, because it don't be all good signs. So the message related does, but some of y'all, like you hear me say, some people are not, like some people maybe are not. So that's what I said, it gives me that though. But some of y'all, you probably need to just take a minute to sit down and focus on you. The hell, like what your needs is, if that's an issue that keeps flaring up and you're wondering why a partner is not showing up for you. Because you got Ace of Swords, Seven of Wands, Judgment in reverse. That's why I said this is like, this has been like an ongoing energy for the longest, I will say that. Or whatever the case may be, it's kind of like if something good happens to you in your deck, whether it was financial or money or situations come in, or you finally getting in love, it's kind of like you were more caught up with the negativity of what certain people were saying, because you got Three of Cups like being reversed. So that's gossipy. Could be in a relationship where you could be dealing with somebody who wait a minute. Ooh, wait a minute. You got the Star. He could be going through like marital relationship type issues or whatever the case may be. Wait a minute, let's see what comes out. But wait a minute, 6 minutes. I'll show y'all when I get through. But for me, it was kind of like you could get something new coming in your life, but because you don't know how to be, well, you're not, I ain't gonna say you're not being emotionally grounded at the moment. It's kind of like you letting the negativity overwhelm you. Like for months, the Aries reading were saying, hey, stop focus on the negative. And it's kind of like that energy, by y'all being close there, or somebody could be like a cusper, has transferred into the Pisces reading. Like, I'm telling you, I'm like, what the fuck? So it has. I'm saying it has. So I don't know. It may be how you may view the world and connecting with it. Don't know, because you got the sun reverse. All right, let me get into the reading so I can. Whoo. All right, I just need one more. All right. Yep. Bottom of the deck, you got 10 of Swords, you got 10 of Wands, and you have the Judgment being reversed. For me, it's kind of like some of y'all need to drop the act. I'm sorry, I want to say drop the act, or whatever the case may be. It's drop the act or drop something that's burdening you, because at this moment, it's kind of like becoming a repetitive issue for some of you, or whatever the case may be. It's kind of like the pain of something that somebody may be holding on to. It's kind of like, it could be you or a person you're dealing with, so I say either way. It's kind of like the pain or something that somebody continuously hold on to. It's kind of like, oh my God, could you just let it go? Like, I'm telling you. All right, anywho. You got Queen of Wands, Six of Wands, Queen of Cups, and the Judgment. I don't like these. Five of Cups being upright. This could be you. You hear me say again, when you hear those people in situations that you have been around that don't mean you know good. Six of Wands speak of enemies and frenemies and like that flattery type energy. Like that connecting with people, like you just didn't see their motives. Like I think emotionally driven, either you being so. Here's the thing though, you hear me say Pisces do have like those big hearts and they be on their sleeve and they can be very empathetic and like needing to understand others. The same is y'all could be the same way with others and not recognize it. Like the Queen of Wands, like that's somebody who does shit. Oh, where it's like that sinister, that Pisces, that Page of Cups with reverse. It's kind of like, oh well, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that, because somebody know you have a good heart, but it's sometimes you going too far. So if that's kind of like the reflection that you hear me say this, I think this back in March. I mean, no, March or whatever. I was kind of like, you got to take accountability for the friends or people that surround you that don't serve you. So you can see it's kind of like, well, at once upon a time with the Lovers being upright, I was once these people. I mirrored them. I used to be that shit. So you can be able to let it go instead of speaking on it, because speaking on it, negativity is kind of like it keeps harping into your life. Like it really is, because the Judgment, the Queen of Cups, the Six of Wands, it could be you hear me say just necessarily changing the narrative. It's kind of like sitting back hearing somebody continuously talk about somebody, and you looking back and you kind of like, oh, why are they doing this? And sometimes you could just remove yourself from it, just be like, I don't necessarily have to deal with this. But with this being in the middle, that's kind of like, oh well girl, you should say this, or dude, you should say this, and like going along with the flow and then end up regretting it along the line. That's why I say it's kind of like this the same thing that's coming out in the reading. It really is though. So I don't know if somebody's doing this to you or you doing it to somebody else. And it's kind of like putting you in a space of pity, because if you're looking for this sense of support and you haven't been supportive of a person or a situation, even if you don't know them and you could just exclude yourself from that, it's kind of like that's why the friendship and the connecting from certain people is just not really getting to you. So it may be the foundation that you have made with people really just feels like it's shaking up at this moment. So going back to this, you got the Lovers, you got the Star, you got the Six of Pentacles, and the Queen of Swords. That's why I said it gives me here where some abrupt type truth is coming in, and somebody ready to cuss somebody the fuck out. Like it really does give me that though. It's kind of like this. It just, I ain't gonna say curse, but it could be though. It's kind of like this is like low in empathy. Like a person is just like, okay, like you see how my tone changed. It's kind of like nobody has a sense of patience or empathy. Like somebody's just at that point where they don't have no empathy for a person or the connection or how. That's what I said. It kind of gives me that. Three of Cups. That's gossipy. You got two gossipy cards here. Four of Cups and the Sun and the Ten of Pentacles. For me, it also talks about like not being happy around certain people. Like it really does though. And we see this all the time, like in black family dramas, especially when it comes to family, the dynamic and money. Especially black people, family and money. So I tell y'all that shit so it's so tiring. I get so sick and tired of that conversation when it's you see niggas arguing over money like they ain't even kin. I'm saying that shit so crazy. But maybe the surroundings of people or situations or how you view or the perception that you necessarily give off. I think you're starting to recognize that being with these people or hanging with them or vibrating low or an emotional sense, it's like you missing out on opportunities. Let me just say this, kind of like it's limiting you in life, because you have the Tower here, the Ace of Swords, the Two of Wands, and the Wheel of Fortune. And I think necessarily if that Tower moment had came, like this explosive type moment, because it's kind of like the way y'all going about it in the Wheel of Fortune. Y'all just, well, I'm going to just do this just enough, and I'm going to just say just enough, da-da-da-da-da, instead of just saying how you really feel to have peace, because I think somebody's trying to keep the lid under wraps. Kind of like, well, I kind of don't want to do this. I kind of want to say this because I know last time they got mad. Like, that's the energy it kind of gives me, though. Well, the last time somebody got mad. But in the same time, it does look like somebody, you hear me say necessarily, is getting a dose of their own medicine. To where, like, you hear me say somebody who's messy, they gossip, they do all this different types of shit, and they going through some midlife fucking crisis, and then wondering why they don't have a sense of support around them. And it's kind of like, you do this to everybody. So maybe you recognizing this with a friend and going into the hermit type mode, and you trying to say, let me close this down. I really don't even got time for it. Like, that's what it kind of gives me, though. Because there go that Page of Cups and the Eight of Cups. That's why I said that's emotional. Honestly, I think some of y'all may be going through some of your life crisis. Some of y'all could be a victim of your own pain, or somebody, you could be seeing somebody who's tethered in something. Somebody does not see their wrongdoing, and you just kind of like, let me just, you like, that's what it kind of gets me though. It's like the latter. Either you're a person to where you sit back and you watch people do fucked up shit, and because they lead it and you go with the masses, it's kind of like that there. If you going through something emotionally or internally and a sense of strife, you just sitting there looking like, damn, well, where am I? What is it that I need? Only to recognize that these people or the lower vibrational beings that's in your life is limiting you. So you feel like you're missing out on certain shit. For a friend, it's like somebody possibly did this to you and you get to see them go through this and you just like, oh, I'm going to just walk the fuck away. Because when I was in this or recognizing that abrupt truth, it's kind of like, no, nobody didn't give a fuck. So that's why I said. You got Seven of Swords being reversed. Two of Cups. That's why I said this got something to do with y'all and a friend or a person. You and a friend or somebody had a malicious intent type of fallout or whatever the case may be. And it's kind of like maybe you may be looking for some support or somebody like, hell no. Because the Queen of Wands and the King of Cups, like being so emotionally unevolved to the point to where they always does shit. Like the Queen of Cups, she's like very depressed, lethargic. It's like heavy being around her. The Queen of Wands means they doing anything to feel, so they could say, well, friends who blurt out certain shit on the wham and don't give a fuck about how you feel. It's just like they do very low vibrational shit, right? And then it's kind of like it's no accountability. But with the Seven of Swords, it's kind of like somebody trying to, it's like somebody looking for some sort of help or empathy or connection. It's kind of give a person, you hear me? It's this person, I'm telling you, like it's this person that's like, hey, and they on their last leg, or this could be you, hey, on my last leg, you trying to just, and somebody like, just leave me alone. Like that's what it's just like, leave me alone. I think somebody got hip to the game. And I say this all the time with the Eight of Swords being in the middle. I say this all the time, so watch this. I said people who suffer with mental illness could be the most manipulative motherfuckers. They could be the manipulative or the manipulative person. They can, but because naturally, because society places people who have mental illness in a victim type state, or they try to label them as MR, which is mentally retarded, or whatever the case may be, how they want to say it, they label people in society as an indifferent. So these people know how to get the attention from others. So if they know that, oh, well, this is the only way they can get it, they're going to do this. So if you got a friend or you're that person to where it's kind of like you're always sad or somebody's always run to your risk, you're like, okay, and they give you that and it's never enough, that's so fulfilling, it's kind of like that's what somebody's doing. But on the flip side, it's kind of like somebody returning, I'm telling you, and they kind of like, hey, and you kind of like, ugh, like that's what it kind of gets me though. One of y'all like, ugh, what the fuck? Because you got the High Priestess being reversed. And the Chariot, that's what I said, it's kind of like somebody finna tell somebody off. They really is. Because the Hermit mean you didn't had enough time to sit down, process this shit. High Priestess mean how they go about it. If you don't know and you're not cognitive of your reactions of certain people, they gonna tell you out loud in a public setting and don't give a fuck. They gonna do it to you because it's kind of like, you gotta recognize this was once you, or some of y'all sitting back in a hermit type mode watching this shit go down on social media and you closing this shit like, I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to deal with this. I'm telling you, like, some of y'all privy to where y'all closing the laptop down to where y'all kind of like, I don't want to deal with this. And then the latter, some of y'all going through this because y'all did this to somebody else because the lovers is upright. And I think for some of y'all, that's the best bet you could do is close the laptop. Because you kind of like, I don't want to be a part of this. As I say, you got Page of Pentacles. Because you got your lesson along the way. I think you kind of like, I don't want to be a part of this. This has nothing to do with me. But for those, you hear me say, that's still on the rodeo. Four Swords. Some of y'all that's still on the rodeo. Let me just say. Y'all You got Ace of Pentacles, you got the Nine of Swords, and the King of Pentacles. I'm telling you, it's kind of like, if it's kind of, be mindful too though. If a person did you wrong and they coming back to you to seek some sort of forgiveness, the best thing you could do is be emotionally honest and say, I'm not prepared right now. And you can just walk the fuck away instead of just, like, this is you holding that King of Pentacles position. You say, I'm not prepared to deal with this. I don't have to. Like, I don't have to take my hand and participate in this. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what it is. It's kind of like that's the throne type action. So it's kind of like, nope, I don't have to deal with this. I'm good. I don't. Because the Fool is reversed. So I said, some of y'all not taking the bait. Some of y'all not. But some of y'all did. Because y'all was like, man, what's the harm? Only to recognize the High Priestess that you done so much shit to a person. So much that they finally snap the fuck off. I tell you, it's the latter. Somebody gonna snap the fuck off. It's the latter. Two of Pentacles. That's why I said somebody been going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You got Nine of Cups being upright. That's why I said somebody been going back and forth, and somebody always get themselves into a situation. Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands being reversed. It's kind of like they can never make a final fucking decision. It's kind of like, okay, all right. And it may got to do something with family, because you got Queen of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups. Maybe it's got something to do with you in a relationship or a connection with a person, somebody who prides in people business. It really does, though. Seven of Cups. It just looks like somebody really thought they had some support that they really thought they did, and they only recognized that they didn't have it. Yep. Scorpionic type energy. That's what it says. Kind of like somebody really think they had some support. You got Knight of Pentacles being reversed. Queen of Wands. Somebody who's very immature. Queen of Wands. King of Wands. It's kind of like this masculine type energy that it's a masculine male who leads in lower vibrational feminine aspect. Then on the flip side, it's a woman who acts like a man. Like, am I making sense? Like, she's a masculine but leads in the sense of this. Because you got Gemini, Virgo, Chariot, Scorpio. Scorpio over here up under the King of Pentacles. What you trying to change? Scorpio. I think that's it. That's all the cards that came out. And you got Justice being on the bottom of the deck. That's Libra. I'm taking you though. That's what I said. It's kind of like somebody's very immature in this sense. They really are. And they stubborn too. They like a dog with a bone. Ten of Swords tried to come out. I said that they're like a dog with a bone. Five of Pentacles, Five of Wands, and a Four of Pentacles. That's why I said some of y'all are at that point. Some of y'all necessarily dealing with a person or connecting with them. I'm going to keep saying it. One of y'all got some friends or hang around people who are like hyperly negative, right? And now because they in the situation, they kind of like, oh, okay, you know, like maybe they may be going through something online or whatever the case may be, like some public humiliation, guilt, shame. They got some remorse and they're looking for that connection. It could be you, but it's kind of like, no, somebody's opting out of it because they don't want to mess up their sense of karma. On the flip side, somebody telling somebody off. And I think somebody's like, you got some Pisces that's kind of like, nope, you know what? This ain't got shit to do with me. I'm going to just go on by my way. These motherfuckers are arguing outside. I'm going to just keep moving. And on the flip side, you got somebody else that's constantly keeping up the mess. Only to go through something, to get themselves caught up in something and saying, could you help me? They're like a beggar on the street asking for help. And you kind of like, hell no. Like, that's what it kind of gives me, though. Five of Cups. Because that's the strife. That's why I said somebody lost opportunities. This is the Queen of Cups. Like you were emotionally drained, or somebody was emotionally drained dealing with you. Though I said the strength. That's egotistical. That's kind of like arrogancy. Somebody who doesn't know how to get along. Though I said somebody who got control issues. That's very low vibrational. They're hedonistic. The Six of Wands. Okay, you guys, let's do this. And they have no remorse of anybody. Piggyback the Six of Wands with the Capricorn card. Yeah, that's what I said, yeah. Seven of Pentacles, that's what I said. It's kind of like the same damn thing. It's kind of like the argument or the situation goes nowhere. It ain't going nowhere. That's what it kind of gives me, though. It's kind of like the same thing. Nothing's going nowhere. Because you got the Page of Swords, the Empress, and you have the Knight of Wands. Somebody, you hear me say, finally learning how to speak their truth. And I'm telling you, it's kind of like, it's coming from a place of, like, watch it, though. Because the Page of Wands and a person that's so manipulative and sneaky like this, if you communicating it, somebody, either somebody doing this to you or you doing it to somebody else. Ooh, it's coming from their position to where somebody gonna cuss somebody ass out, though, right? And it's gonna gear up like a domino effect. I don't know why I keep getting it's gonna gear up like a domino effect. But the reason why the Queen, you hear me say, I say watch it, because if you're dealing with somebody that's very manipulative, they gonna try to make you doubt who you are and the communication. So if you the person that's going to Pisces calling them out about this shit, it's kind of like they so manipulative to the point where they gonna try to make you doubt who you are. On the flip side of you going to somebody else and you telling them this shit, like, oh no, I'm sick of this, da 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 da, you keep up this is this, da 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 da. It's like they gonna try to manipulate you. Damn, that's the Three of Wands reverse. Shit. Damn. God damn. Ow. Baby. I can't let you see on my bed, girl. You got Three of Wands being reversed. They number her shit over there anyway. Page of Wands in the world. It's kind of like younger people or younger. It's like younger people. I don't know. Well, you may be dealing with people who just high key immature. I don't know, but it's kind of like they like if you can't really. The people who just shutting the laptop down, you really can't get mad because these people were you at once upon a time. I think you recognizing it. Like these people were necessarily you. Because you got the Four of Wands. Like, you were committed. You were in. It was a long haul. These are my friends. This is my family. This is the support. Like, somebody was, like, all in. Because over time, y'all developed a relationship no matter hell, high, or hot water. You connected with these people, right? But the people who closing the laptop kind of like, you know what? This was the last straw. I'm just going to cut myself down. Or somebody may be sitting there looking at somebody like hanging from a tree, how they cons get caught up in situations. And somebody just like, go on, let yourself down. And they just like, they play this same game over and over and over again. They do. It's kind of like, my hand's tied up. And each and every time you like, man, come on. Like, I got somewhere I got to be. Like, that's the energy it kind of gives me, though. Sorry. Because you got everything is fine, Six of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles. I think some of y'all starting to recognize if this was a relationship or financial opportunities. I think you recognize that if you went into business or in partnership with certain people were just in it for the money, and these people wasn't your friends. You recognizing that you just built relationships with people off what you had and not who you were. This is where the Ace of Cups and the reality come in. For some of y'all, you recognize that being committed to certain people, they blocked certain blessings for you, and you had to work too hard to accomplish with what you have. So now somebody's coming to you like, no, like that's what it is. Like, no, like I had to work too hard for this. No, like that's the energy it does give me. But I'm telling y'all, some of y'all, the best thing to do when you're dealing with people you just done, you just move the fuck on. You really do. But for some of y'all Pisces, y'all are in the bottom of this lower vibration ass bullshit. And y'all partaking this shit and then be wearing her playing victim when you going through shit and be wanting people to support you and they don't know how to support you. So now it's kind of like for you to go through this sense of exposure or to be dragged or humiliated. Because you know we got lower vibrational signs and higher vibrational signs. It calls out this. It shows you like necessarily like what you are. But for some of y'all, I think you recognize what somebody necessarily is. You really are. I'm telling you. Some of y'all looking at somebody do the same shit over and over and over again. How they hop from one person to one person with this drama, this. I'm going through this. And then you kind of like, man, I'm going to just get my ass the fuck on up out of here because this ain't got shit to do with me. Yep, that's the Knight of Cups. She kind of like, yeah, I'm going to take my cup and I'm going to leave. And some of y'all could be at a bar. I don't know why I got a bar. Yep, so some of y'all at a bar or was out at a friend or going to go get drinks with a friend and they ass did some fucked up ass shit and you just like, you know what, I'm done. That was your last straw to where you was kind of like, I'm done. I'm fucking done. Yep. I think y'all saw recognize how you can get your love back to you. That's why the lovers is out. Some of y'all starting to recognize how you can get that love to you. Because King of Swords speaks of, you hear me say, cutting certain things out, being logical and rational about certain love. So I like that, though. Some of y'all are being logical. Y'all trying to weigh the cons. Y'all trying to see the Three of Pentacles. And the Knight, you hear me say, this is what some of y'all cutting out. People who play both sides. The pretending to be a sense of a mediator. People who are slow and stagnant and bring a sense of drama and chaos. People who don't know how to look at the bigger picture. People who take context and run with it. Like, that's what a lot of y'all starting to recognize. Because you got Eight of Pentacles being reversed. Eight of Pentacles upright. So some of y'all been paying attention, been watching this shit. Because you got Ten of Pentacles because some of y'all been trying to overcome this manipulative, sneaky ass energy, the Magician. Or some of y'all trying to find a way of hell or hot water to get away from it. So yeah. Other than that though, yeah, that's what I said. Some of y'all are, ooh, that's rough. About time, Pisces. Can I get y'all a clap? Can I get y'all a clap? Y'all deserve it. Because I'm telling you, y'all last couple readings has been shit. Like, I love it though. Now y'all deserve a clap because y'all last couple readings have been shit. And I thank you for the ones that's finally getting the backbone and standing up for what it is that you believe in so you can get whatever it is that you need and not let nobody trick you out of your position, especially when it comes to your sense of truth. I like that. I feel like y'all deserve a slow clap. Yes. And then some of y'all the latter, where y'all gonna learn these lessons. It's kind of like the boy who cried wolf. And then some of y'all done cried it so much to the point where nobody gonna rescue you. And you just like, fuck it. But some of y'all, this got something to do with some of y'all friends. I've been pulling it a lot. So if y'all been waiting on relationships, I really necessarily ain't been getting this with relationships. It's been like job, co-workers, drinks, people who you party with. It ain't necessarily been, and it's just been like family type drama or whatever the case may be. It ain't necessarily been giving me y'all relationship aspect. So I'm sorry, whatever the case may be, if that's what you're looking for. But it's just been petty ass drama in the work front. Bottom of the deck, you got a new star that's coming. That's why I said some of y'all deserve a fucking slow clap. You are good enough. Your sister sign, full moon in Virgo. The end of a tough cycle approaches. Yes. Some of y'all been in there like swim well. Be bold and make the first move. Whether this you getting out of the way or deciding to make yourself happy. Luck is on your side. Full moon, new moon in Sagittarius. I like that. I like that. And you are very close to achieving your goal. So I like that though. Bottom of the deck, you got communication is key. Didn't I say that? One of y'all finna cuss somebody out. I don't really necessarily give me like, I ain't even gonna cap. One of y'all finna cuss somebody out. And it's not like an aggressive curse, but it's like a lack of empathy for a person. It's kind of like, you know what? I'm sick of you. Every time you come around, you always bring this same shit. It's kind of like having that friend and they come in and everybody be vibing and they know how to just kill the mood. And you just, you know, you just like, girl, yeah, I just went over so-and-so house and we had a good ass time. And then they come in and they just kill the fucking mood. And they like, oh, well, did you tell them about this? Did you tell them this? Oh, yeah, you remember when you were broke? Like, they just bring up the most fucked up shit, and you just be like, what is wrong with you? You just like, what is wrong with you? So I like that though. For steady our grounds. I really do. I really do. I like that though. That's my last shit. I don't think that's what it was. Yeah, it needed me to go on here and wrap that up, dog. So I like that though. That's good, Pisces. Some of y'all just experiencing this and y'all looking for some sort of compassion. And I'm sorry if you is that person that went through this or whatever the case may be, but it's all lessons that we need to learn. But for some of you, I appreciate you for finally getting the backbone and listening to your intuition and stop letting people dog walk your ass emotionally. Because they say, oh, well, you're so nice, you're so caring. No. I'm telling y'all, I want a slow clap for y'all. I want a slow clap. Alright, we'll take all those. Bottom of the deck, you got 5 of Wands being reversed. Ace of Wands. 3 of Wands. And the 2 of Cups. Yes, yes. Ace of Cups, that's what it is. Some of y'all trying to get in a relationship, or somebody's trying to get in a relationship around you on the like work front, or somebody that you adore, or not necessarily fancy. It's like fancy, but not necessarily like you like them. But in case it got something to do with a personal relationship, and y'all moving away from a sense of gossip and the negativity and stuff, and learning how to coexist with each other, because y'all let the negativity around y'all impact how you maneuver with each other. Booyah. You are good enough. That is the full moon in Virgo. You got King of Wands for y'all advice, and you got the Queen of Swords. That's why I said some of y'all got to take the action and start and necessarily saying it. Like some of y'all, I don't know if there's truth that comes in for people who keep up drama and chaos and mess. Like that's going to make somebody necessarily, like where somebody have to get their feelings hurt to recognize that, okay, it's time for me to do something about it. For the latter, some of y'all, this abrupt communication that comes in, it's time for you to say, okay, well, it's time for me to do something about it and stop communicating so harshly when it comes to you and yourself and others. Because it's just like a minor projection, you know? The end of a tough cycle approaches. It is the Wheel of Fortune and the High Priestess. Baby, if these ain't two good cards, intuition. The end of a tough cycle approaches. It ain't nothing but intuition. Just like blessings on top of blessings. It's kind of just leaving a sense of faith and divinity, or whatever the case may be. Like that toll. Whatever's in that toll that you've been secretly working on, that's what's the harvest you're going to reap. So I like that. So if you've been working on you, that's great. My ear burning. I probably said the wrong thing. I'm sorry, Pisces. I don't care. Be bold and make the first move. Six of Swords and a Page of Swords. Some of y'all gotta move, and then for some of y'all, moving towards this necessary relationship, some masculine or feminine, you're gonna have to say, babe, we gotta move out of this area. If you've been having problems with your neighbors or personal, you just gotta say we ain't been going there no more, or making a decision to cut out from family. I don't know, but it's like somebody's just gotta take the higher road to say, you know what, I'm finna move. I'm finna get out this environment. That's what it kind of gives me though. Luck is on your side. I was just rooting for y'all. Now my ears starting to burn. Ain't that some bullshit? Luck is on your side. New moon in Sagittarius. You got 8 of Cups. You got the Page of Cups and the Temperance. This means having patience enough with yourself to be able to go within, to see emotionally, like what is it that you need, and taking emotional accountability, the reasons why you should have faith, or why you deserving of the things that you want, because you have the Lovers and the 9 of Cups reversed. So it's all about piggybacking from you are good enough to this, and having faith. You hear me say belief in you. And it's probably maybe you hear me say with relationships or love, like how you love people, others. And who reading was I just watching on which call? But I think I said this in my Virgo reading. I said this though. I did. I was like, Earth signs have the habit of loving others the way they want to be loved, and they get mad when somebody don't love them that way. I think I said that in the Virgo reading. Oh well, if that makes sense to you. It does. Okay, you are very close to achieving your goal. That's y'all sister sign though. So, hey, I think that's y'all. Is that y'all South Node? Because I think your sister sign is your South Node. So that necessarily got something to do with like karma type paths. Don't quote me. Don't quote me because I was looking at something. Don't quote me. Okay. You're very close to achieving your goals. That's why I said some of y'all got to set up and fight and actually fight for what it is that you want and necessarily learn how to communicate. Some of y'all may be in a competition, a doggy dog type environment. That's what it kind of give me though, a doggy dog type environment. But some of y'all gonna come out on top. I like that though. But some of y'all gonna come out on top. So other than that, Pisces, you hear me say, it's just getting away. Some of y'all gonna learn how to silence that noise when you necessarily learn how to stand up for yourself and take the opportunity to be able to move away. Moving away. Redirecting certain conversations. Even when it feels uncomfortable. But some of y'all gonna have to learn how to lead a room. But other than that though, I just want to give y'all a slow clap. Because y'all are deserving of that. Because some of y'all Pisces, it took y'all a long time to get here. So that's all I got to say. So other than that, though, I'm gone. And I got to fix this thing. Damn, I'm gone, y'all.